Happy draft day, Chiefs Kingdom. We finally made it. It's like Christmas in April. You absolutely love to see it. Well, it's like the third Christmas for Chiefs fans because then you got Christmas Day, you got Super Bowl Sunday, which the Chiefs are very accustomed to now, and then you got round one of the NFL draft, and we're going to have it all covered, every single pick on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel starting tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern, so subscribe over there, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Join us for pick-by-pick analysis, and for Chiefs-centric coverage, we'll have you covered here for every pick as well. So we'll see you out there. Lots of draft rumors circulating right now. Let's jump into them. You're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I'm Harrison Graham. Like I said, happy draft day, folks. We made it. I'm just glad that we got here. I think the biggest rumor surrounding the Chiefs right now is a potential trade up for Zay Flowers. That has been circulating for a few days. More and more rumors and reports continue to drop about interest being there really from both sides, both from the Chiefs and for Zay Flowers. How do I know there's interest from Zay Flowers? Well, he said it to reporters yesterday. He kind of sent a message to the Chiefs. Just get up there, a.k.a. trade up and come get me before I get drafted by somebody else. And look, we've talked about this for a few weeks. Brett Veach has 10 draft picks to work with. The Chiefs don't need to make 10 picks. If you need to sacrifice a few picks in this draft to move up for a player you really, really like, I'm absolutely on board in doing that. He's a really good route runner, gets separation, the ideal type of receiver that we've seen have success with Patrick Mahomes in the past. 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns this past season for Boston College. Horrible quarterback play, by the way. Here's Flowers on what he had to say about Patrick Mahomes and working out with him because they brought him in for a draft visit and workout last week. He said, "It was crazy. As soon as you even break your routes, the ball is in your face. I feel like it's way easier to catch the ball and run with him because you know where the ball is going to be." That mutual interest is real. I think the Chiefs really like him. It wouldn't shock me at all if he was their number one receiver on their board. I think Mahomes clearly likes him. And Zay Flowers, I think, felt the positive vibes from Kansas City as well. And why wouldn't you? It's a great culture. This is a team that's obviously in win-now mode for the foreseeable future. Who wouldn't want to get drafted by the Chiefs, especially at wide receiver, because you get to play with Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league. And on top of that, you're going to have opportunities. Like, there's good depth in this wide receiver room, but if Zay Flowers comes in and can ball out early, there's no reason why he couldn't elevate to wide receiver one at some point in the next couple of years. I mean, Kadarius Toney, I love him. We got to see consistency there, though. MVS, he's not a number one. He's a outside specialist, deep ball guy. Sky Moore, I think Zay Flowers is a better prospect at this point this year than Moore was last year, although I am excited for year two of Sky Moore. They brought in Richie James. They brought back Justin Watson. But the point being is if Zay Flowers reaches his potential, he could be the number one, number two receiver for this team as soon as his rookie season. Should the Chiefs trade up for Zay Flowers? What do you guys think? Throw on your GM hat. Be Brett Veach for me. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Should the Chiefs trade up for Zay Flowers? Pen comment on today's video. Y for yes, in for no. Mel Kiper Jr. released his final mock draft, and he stiffed the Chiefs by having them trade out of round one. Kiper has Kansas City has the Rams trading up to the Chiefs pick at 31 to go get Hendon Hooker, which I actually mocked in my final mock to have the Rams trade up into the first round, but I had the Chiefs trading up in that one because I think trading up is way more likely than trading down considering this team has 10 draft picks. Here's what Mel Kiper had to say. For the Chiefs, with the top edge rushers off the board, they don't have to force a pick at number 31. And sure, there's always scenarios, right? Like, I do think Brett Veach will be active in trying to move up for either a receiver, an edge, or don't sleep on an offensive tackle if a guy like Broderick Jones maybe slides in round one. But I would be pretty surprised if they traded out of the first round. That would shock me a bit. You have so many picks. Like, you don't need to trade out. Identify a player or two or three that you really like. Go up and get them. Like, I think that's where the Chiefs are as a franchise. They don't need 8, 9, 10, 12 players to this 90-man offseason roster. Go get a few players in this draft you like, and then let's try and repeat again. I mean, that's really kind of where you're sitting at on your roster anyway. What do you think is more likely for the Chiefs? I think it's clearly trading up, but if you disagree, agree with Kiper here. Type D for trade down. I'll type my U for trade up because I just think based on where this team is, moving up for a premium player makes way more sense. Subscribe. We will have analysis of every Chiefs draft pick here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. So turn on your notifications and subscribe to the channel. Don't miss any of it because we're going to keep you in the loop with everything surrounding this team all offseason long, but especially during this draft. Pick analysis, we'll have grades at the end of each day. We might even have a day 2 mock draft tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that as well. All right, Todd McShay did have the Chiefs drafting a player in his final mock draft. He has Kansas City drafting Will McDonald, edge rusher out of Iowa State, which has been somewhat popular among NFL draft experts, going McDonald at 31 to Kansas City. Here's what McShay said about this pick. He says, McDonald knows how to get to the quarterback, registering 16.5 sacks and 63 pressures since becoming a starter in 2021. His explosion, bend, and burst stand out on tape. Now, we've talked about this before. I think adding another edge makes sense. We've also talked about how Will McDonald in particular would be a different type of defensive end that Steve Spagnuolo is used to. He's really more of a 3-4 outside linebacker, but I wouldn't completely rule it out. And here's why. Because the defensive linemen and edge rushers you'd have, Karlaftis, Omenihu, they're these big 270, 280-pound guys. McDonald would give you a different look in sub packages as more of a speed rusher, and he's a pretty advanced pass rusher as it is. Lots of different moves that are displayed on tape. You don't set the Big 12 record with career sacks by accident. I mean, this guy was very, very explosive at Iowa State, and I think as a rookie, he could be just kind of a sub-package guy on passing downs. You kick in a guy like Karlaftis, bring in McDonald as an extra pass rusher. I think that could make a lot of sense. 34 sacks in his college career. McShay mentioned the numbers his past couple of years as well. Really stood out, really productive throughout his college career. I mentioned the all-time Big 12 record in sacks. I think that's notable. That's going up against Power 5 competition for multiple years and getting it done at a very, very high level. So I'm in on McDonald. The only reason I mentioned the size stuff is the Chiefs, since Spagnuolo has been here, have not brought in undersized edges. They have not done it. This would be a new look for this defense, but I think with his pass rushing ability and the different moves he can throw at offensive tackles, I would be open to the idea, and I would even like to see it, to be honest, because I think McDonald at the end of round 1 could be a best player available situation. Who will the Chiefs draft tonight? If you had to predict it, drop a name down in the comments below. I do think the trade up for Flowers is very, very possible. Let me know what you guys think. Just a couple more mock drafts I wanted to mention. We mentioned Kiper and McShay. No pick for Kiper, McDonald for McShay. Dane Brugler had the Chiefs landing Myles Murphy. Listen, if Murphy's there at 31, I'm in. I know he's kind of the opposite of McDonald, where he's got all the measurables you would want in the athletic traits for a 4-3 edge, but his pass rushing moves aren't that advanced. Great run stopper, though, but the upside is massive there. Darnell Wright, I can't imagine he falls to 31 with the hype he's been getting, but Daniel Jeremiah had that. And then Peter Schrager had Jalen Hyatt. I'd be fine with that as well. I mean, really any of these scenarios outside of trading out of the first round, I would be very excited about. Here's one thing we do know, that I don't think we really know much at all. I mean, Bryce Young is going to go number 1 overall, but starting with the Texans at number 2, no one knows what's going to happen. Are they going to draft a quarterback? Are they going to trade down? Who knows? We'll see. It should make for an exciting night as the NFL draft does get underway tonight. It's why you should subscribe to the channel, because as soon as the Chiefs do something, whether they stick at 31 and pick or trade up and pick, or hell, do what Kiper says and trade out of the first round, we're going to hit you guys with a video. So don't miss any of that here on the Chiefs Report. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Happy draft day. Let's get after it.